guys, it's CVSEYBUILDS here and welcome back to another Sims 4 building tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build this cutout staircase right here. As you can see, you can view this staircase from the second floor. It's a really nice cutout here and you get a nice view from the second floor into the first floor, and the staircase is fully functional. So if you guys are interested in building this kind of staircase, stay tuned for the tutorial. Also, if you guys are interested in downloading the featured house here, it is called the Riverstone Suburban, and it is available for download on my gallery at CVSEYBUILDS, which is right here. The good news is this house is completely base game, so if you guys want to download it, you don't have to have any packs to be able to get this house. Okay, so let's move on into the tutorial. So first and foremost, you're going to want to start in build mode, of course. I'm just going to build out my first floor of my house, very generic square here. And of course, in order to place a staircase, you're going to need a second floor. So I'm just going to quickly build the second floor. And something that would be helpful when building cutout staircases is to plan out the second floor of your house. That way you know exactly where the bedrooms are going to be, and you can make sure the little walkway area is fully accessible. So this is a rough draft of pretty much where all my bedrooms are going to be. And essentially I want to place my staircase here and have a nice little cutout walkway that reaches all of the bedrooms. So the first thing we're going to want to do is place our staircase. So I'm going to go onto the first floor and pick a staircase to put right over here. When I pop back onto the second floor, I'm going to want to map out where I'm going to put this little walkway here. So before I do that, I'm going to place some doors. And now I'm going to want to make sure my walkway extends all the way across and gives me access to all of the rooms. So now here's where you go into your fence tool, and this is where you're just going to draw out where you want your little walkway to be. There we have it. Now this step is crucial in building cutout staircases in houses, and that is to make sure our fence tool here extends all the way across the stairs. Now I know how it sounds. It doesn't make a lot of sense to build a fence at the top of a staircase, but in the case of our game, doing so is going to make it possible for this little cutout to happen. So I'm just going to drag my fence all the way across here, and as you can see, even though it creates the fence line, it doesn't actually build a fence here at the top steps. Now we'll be able to remove the floor here without any issues, and you can do this two ways. You can either demolish it with the sledgehammer, or you can just click it twice and select remove floor. Now when I toggle my G key, which is the grid key, you'll notice that from the second floor you can now peek into the first floor. If you'd like to build a staircase identical to the one that I had in my Riverstone Suburban build, which is the build I had featured at the beginning of this video, here's exactly how I did it. I just pretty much placed down a staircase here, right in the corner, and then I made it an L shape by toggling this tool and pulling it this way. Now you can pick up your staircase and tuck it into the corner. And then when I go up to the second floor, there was a little bit of walkway here. So like I said, you're going to grab your fence tool, make sure you draw it across the top of the staircase, and pretty much cut out your desired shape. And then like I said, you could just double check to click the walkway and make sure it's its own room. Then you can delete this part here and remove the floor on the cutout area. And now you have a nice little floating walkway up here that's fully functional and ready for your Sims to use. Now when building staircases like this, there are two problems you can run into potentially. The first one is placing chandeliers. And it doesn't quite make a lot of sense to have a floating chandelier somewhere down on the first floor. So if you're trying to place it hanging over the second floor, all you have to do is make sure your grid is back on and you're on the second floor. That way when you place your light, it actually makes sense and is placed on the second story, not just randomly floating here on the first floor. Now, the second potential problem you can run into when working with cutout staircases like so is roofing, which is going to be easier for me to show you than explain it. But before I show you guys, I do want to advise keeping any roofing tools away from this cutout part of your house if possible. Otherwise you might end up with a gigantic headache, and here is why. So hypothetically speaking, if I wanted to extend this walkway all the way across and get rid of this bedroom here, as you can see, I just built a little roof piece there and I extended this all the way over here. that roofing tool now juts directly into our house and it looks horrendous. So the reason the roof juts into our house like this is because this little walkway piece here is not an enclosed room because it's not encased in 4 walls since we use the fence tool here. So the game doesn't really recognize it as a real room. It kind of recognizes it almost as like an outside space, if you will. So any kind of exposed area like this within the house is pretty much going to have this problem if you have any roof pieces jutting into the house. So like I said, the only way around this is to pretty much just avoid using roofs around this area completely, or you can try to enclose that roof piece within 4 walls. When you do so, like so, that roof piece will disappear because it recognizes this space of the house as being within the house while it treats this part of the house as being outside of the house. So like I said, avoid using any roof pieces near this area of the house if possible. Otherwise, you can just enclose that roof piece within 4 walls and that should do the trick as well. Anyways, that pretty much concludes my cutout staircase tutorial. I hope it was easier than you guys were expecting, but I hope you guys learned something new today. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!